So clearly Quavo was not on his Kendrick. In other words, quiet. Because he jumped down the steps and slid down a
Yet again, once more so, obviously Quo was not on his Kendrick at the end of the day calm since he bounced down the means and slid down a rail to get in that studio seriously. And the record that he emerged with was his brought-over openings and Chris earthy colored needs. All the smoke with Quo. Chris is so frantic, he exchanged melodic kinds he's rapping now. And it was very great Chris Brown stood up to Quo following the arrival of Quo's most recent diss track, coordinated at him Quo's track. Comes as a reaction to Brown's prior circle, reigniting their continuous quarrel in the consistently advancing scene of rap contentions. The contention between Chris Brown and Quo has caught the consideration of fans and pundits. The same with the arrival of diss tracks and warmed trades across virtual entertainment. The two craftsmen have reignited their long-standing fight, digging into individual narratives and shared connections to fuel the discharge as the hip-jump local area heaps on watching the high-profile quarrel. Plainly, the fight between Chris Brown and Quo is a long way from being done, whether driven by veritable complaints or an essential bit for consideration. The enduring effect of this competition on the traditions of these two specialists in the rap world is not settled as of yet. He was on Most Fragile Connection, discussing how he wishes Quo would have kicked the bucket. Rather than departure, he's Maxim. He laid down with SETI. While they were still attached, it's simply a ton going on. This comes after Chris Earthy Colored's most recent delivery in the tune Brown goes to the extent that platitude tier departure. He was the main genuine one. I got genuine regard in saying how when he passed on, everyone truly wished it was you, rather Brown, and Quo share a confounded relationship, having both been sincerely associated with entertainer Karrueche Tran, who at present holds a controlling request against Earthy Colored. It is accounted for that Coochie Tran and Chris Brown dated for a considerable length of time, from 2011 to 2015. In Most Fragile Connection, Browns stands up to their muddled past, as well as proposes a heartfelt contribution with Sidey Quo's ex. While they were still attached, Earthy Colored raps you my ex. That is cool. I don't give no cuz I your ex. When you were still with her, I'm up they say retribution I sway. Now contemplate that Chris raises City again referencing a spilled video portraying Quo in an actual squabble with her. This comes as a reaction to Quo's allegations in regards to Brown's past. With Rihanna, he WS quit. Looking at pulsating young ladies, you were pulsating on the lift. We have seen the tapes that is pulverizing their contention traces all the way back to 2017, when tales whirled about Tran and Quo, despite the fact that they sat close to one another. At Paris Style Week, powering hypothesis of compromise, Brown speedily subdued any desire for harmony. In the meantime, Brown as of late said, "Can't pick who you sit." By all that development, not finna bungle my sack for minimal Brown. Likewise specifies this occurrence in the tune, saying Design Week. They sat me close to your faltering. I was really frantic. All I continued pondering was breaking your face. Yet I gave you a pass, as we probably are aware rapper Quo and Chris Brown have been in conflict for some time, yet there have been a few late changes in the music business. The continuous fight between rap stars Chris Brown and Quo, an individual from the Migos, has reignited revenue following the arrival of Brown's diss track, named Most Fragile Connection on April 20th, 2024. The track is loaded with pointed punches working up discussion. And I need to hear what Miss So needs to say, cuz is Chris coming clean? Were you truly something else going in for seconds? I'm not passing judgment on you, cuz I would have done it as well. Yet I simply need to hear your thinking of the story Chris Brown was involved with American socialite and entertainer Karrueche Tran from November 2010 to Walk 2015, with an in the middle between all through this period. He additionally resuscitated his relationship with pop sensation Rihanna. Quo and Tran have regularly appeared together in photographs over the course of the years, starting dating bits of hearsay as soon as 2017. As per TMZ, in April 2017, The couple went on a few dates after, at first being companions. An ensuing TMZ article announced that Earthy Colored felt sold out when he discovered that Quo had started dating his ex, particularly considering their entwined business and special interactions. The pair cooperated on various melodies, including Whipping Only for This Evening, Inclining, and more, with Brown having apparently advanced the Migos 2017 collection culture, while Quo was subtly dating his ex in a WAP 2017 meeting with Board. Not long before the hamburger started, Brown supplicated all the Migos as genuine companions and siblings, prior to promising to never loathe on them, albeit the last option remark unquestionably didn't. Mature well, he said, I simply need to yell out, you all my genuine companions and siblings. I purchased your collection multiple times. I spent my own cash and I'm glad for you. I won't ever detest on you. In February 2017, Poochie Tran got a limiting request against Brown, as announced by TMZ. This activity concurred with the period when her relationship with Quo evidently started. She stated that the craftsman had past L showed wrongdoing towards her and had given dangers. Various individuals have guessed that Tran and Quo's new sentiment might have prompted the controlling request that grants them to date without obstruction. From that point forward, Brown and Quo have seemed to stay in conflict, with pressures heightening as of late as the two specialists traded verbal pokes in their most recent tracks on Earthy Colored's melody. Oddity delivered on April 10th as a component of his 11 to 11 choice collection. He referenced Quo laying down with his old exes the day after in the melody. Delicate, the Migos rappers appear to answer with a front in regards to his split with Tran and Earthy Colored's previous occurrences of homegrown wrongdoing. He said, you're the most vulnerable connection out of your snap. We should keep it a 100 right off the bat. In the tune Most Fragile Connection, Earthy Colored alludes to Quavo as the most vulnerable individual from his gathering. The gathering being referred to is the family rap triplet Migos, comprising of cousins Quo and Offset, and their nephew Departure. Brown censures Quo as the most incapable among them. The Migos worked as a triplet from 2008 until 2023, delivering 4 collections during their residency together. Tragically, the gatherings process finished up with a less than ideal passing of Departure, who was lethally taken shots at a party in Texas. In November 2022, Chris Brown answered it, essentially saying, man, messing around with it, that is Pullum. I was energized. I appreciated Quo's relationship with his previous accomplice, Karuchi Tran, on his new tune Freak, with joiner Lucas Lil Wayne. And T. Grizzly Brown rapped on how laying down with his old exes